So I'm going to now start today's lecture. So we are going to look today at property, investment property. I think we stopped last week. We finished off with joint ventures, investments in joint ventures. So we are going to finish off. We are going to do property plans and investment properties today. Okay. Now, this section applies to accounting for investments in land, buildings that meet the definition of investment property. Okay. So I'll bring my own examples, which from my old company. I think Professor Charumati or the previous company. I think I explained last time how I bought this particular factory, right? Did I tell you that story? I think I did. Okay, but if you want me to revisit that, I will revisit that again. Okay? So that's okay. So this is about investment properties and some property interests held by lessee under an operating lease, which is covered by 6.3, that are treated like investment properties. But I don't agree with it 100%, but that's the standard. Okay? Only investment properties whose fair value can be measured reliably without undue cost or effort on an ongoing basis is accounted for in accordance with the section at fair value through profit or loss. Okay, so as I said, you don't need to be accountant or studying accounting to be understanding all these things. All you need to do is to be able to understand in general how to go through all this. Okay, definition and initial recognition of investment property. Investment property is
If you are sharing your
oh, sorry, my apologies. I thought you saw that. Yeah, thank you for that. See, this is what happens, Prof, when you're getting carried away. One moment. Acrobat, there we go. Now, can you see that?
yes.
Perfect. Okay. So, definition and initial recognition of investment property. Now, you remember, we talked about the definition criteria and recognition criteria of an asset. Can you tell me what the definition criteria of an asset? How do we recognize and how do we define an asset? Can somebody tell me? Come on, somebody needs to tell me, how do you define an asset?
You also wrote this answer in the first internal. Please remember and recall and tell.
If we have the fortune, it's an asset.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
If we have some fortune in our company, it's an asset. It's an asset.
No, that's not what an asset is. How do you define an asset? Possibly, if these students are not aware, we need to clear them all. Because this is fundamental to this entire unit. Come on. What is the definition criteria of an asset?
We don't want to pay anymore in future.
No, that's wrong. I'm sorry, I'm not going to move forward until I get an answer from you. Okay? It doesn't matter if you can't cover the lecture today. I'm happy to do an extra lecture, Professor Charumati, if there's an issue, but we are not moving forward until I get a proper answer. Okay? Tell me. What is the definition criteria of an asset? Okay. Last chance. What is the definition of an asset?
Which can be measured reliably.
That is not a definition criteria. I'm asking you the 3 definition criteria for an asset. So for something to be considered an asset or defined as an asset, it has to meet 3 criteria. What are they? One of them I've already told you. Future economic benefit. What are the other 2?
It should be controlled by the entity.
Sir, asset represent ownership which can be converted to cash and cash equivalent. Correct?
No. Somebody else said something controlled by the entity. Yes, that's one. So I don't think if you took this long, I mean, if I ask a student in first year accounting or first year, not accounting, the Bachelor of Commerce here, no matter what subjects they are doing, if I ask them what is the definition criteria and recognition criteria on asset, they will be able to tell me. You're postgraduate students. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. Okay. You really need to kind of work on this a bit more, right? So let's see.
Asset must have a physical form, sir.
No, that's wrong.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, asset represent ownership that must be
Look at
converted
it.
into.
These are defined as follows. An asset is a resource controlled by the entity. Number one, okay, controlled by the entity
As a result of
as a result of a past transaction that brings future economic benefit. So what now I'm asking you, I'm showing you this again. What is the definition of an asset?
resource control.
Sorry?
Resource, ownership, future economic.
Resource controlled by the entity, yes,
Past events.
as a result of past event. And what's the last one?
Future economic benefit.
For the future economic benefits.
So if you do not know this, that means everything I did after this would have gone over your head. So everything we did, derivatives, investment, consolidation, or brief, I mean, I didn't do consolidations in detail, but everything you would not have understood. So I'm actually worried now. Okay? What is a liability? What is the definition of a liability?
Obligation.
Arise from the past events expected to be settled in the future.
Expected to be settled in outflows of resources, not just settled in the future. What do you mean by settled? Settled can be anyway. Settled through outflow of resources. You have to be very specific. Okay? What is equity? Don't look at this now. What is equity? What is an equity? What is your net worth? How do you measure your net worth?
Please speak out, students. Net worth I have taught you so many times.
What is net worth?
The residual income and the capital left
Counting
over to the
equation,
equity
can you
side.
recall? Murali, please louder.
Tell me.
And whatever the retained earnings that are available to the equity
No, not
shareholders.
retained earnings. That's not right. No, it's nothing to do with earnings. What's your net worth?
Interest
Asset
from the
minus
asset.
total debts.
Interest
Asset minus total debts, sir.
Assets minus
Debts, sir.
total
Total
assets
debt.
minus
Debt.
total debt. Okay.
Total
So
debt.
that means,
Yes, sir.
yes. So in other words, it is the difference between these two, assets minus liability. So once you remove the assets, once you remove all the liabilities from the assets, that means that left you with a net worth. Okay. So now we've defined an asset, but does that mean that we can recognize it as an asset? So in other words, I'm asking a simple question. The financial position, it says you can define an asset like this, yes, but if we are to put it in the financial statement, does it need to meet other criteria? What we call the recognition criteria. What are the two recognition criteria that we have? Well, look here.
Rishika, you can speak out.
Okay, just because something meets the definition of an asset or a liability, it doesn't mean we recognize it in the balance sheet or the statement of financial position. Why is that? So for it to be recognized, there are two other criteria that needs to be met. What are they?
Future benefits.
Come on.
Future benefits, reliability in measurement.
Not future benefits, it's the reliability of measurement of future benefits. So in other words,
Two things.
that's one.
2.27 gives the recognition. 2 points, what you were
Okay.
mentioning. 2.27.
Yeah. So 2.27.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, there you go. It's here. Okay, but it's also mentioned up here as well. But let's go down here. Let's look at here. Okay. The probability of the reliability of measurement. In other words, the future economic benefit that's coming in or going out needs to be reliably measured. If we don't know what that measure is, then it has to be, what happens then? Do we recognize it? What happens if we have a defined liability, but it does not meet the recognition criteria? What do we do with it? If you are running a business, if you have something that you have to pay sometime in the future, what do you do? But you don't know how much you have to pay. What do you do? I talked about this. Whether you remember, I mentioned about this when I was discussing the three statements, right?
Yes, bro.
What's wrong with the students? Are they a little bit behind these days, or what's happening?
Students, please speak out whatever you know. You please get corrected also if you're wrong. Nothing to worry about. It's the
Exactly.
ground where you learn.
This is a learning exercise.
Yeah.
And also,
If you go
please
out
come back
with
on
the
camera.
wrong
Everybody
information,
disappeared.
that will affect your
Everybody disappeared from camera again. I want everybody to come back on camera. Don't disappear off camera. Now, why all the gloomy faces? Yes, I'm a teacher. I'm trying to teach you, so don't be upset. If you don't know, you ask. Okay? Nothing wrong with not knowing, but you need to be. I don't need to be repeating things over and over because you all are postgrad. Okay? So, what happens if an asset or a liability does not meet the recognition criteria? Will we just keep it out completely? What do we do with it?
Sometimes some asset or liability may not give any future benefit. So it cannot be considered as an asset, sir.
No, it can be defined as an asset if it meets the three definition criteria. I'm asking if something meets the definition criteria but does not meet the recognition criteria, what do we do with it? Because that is relevant to what we are studying today. When you talk about investment property, if we don't understand the differentiation between a recognized asset and a defined asset, then we cannot learn what we are learning today. That's the reason why I'm pushing this very badly. Or very strongly, sorry. Not sure. Okay. What did we talk about here? What did we tell about the notes? What are the notes in the financial statement? So anything that we cannot put in the balance sheet, we usually make a note of it on the note. See, section sets out the principles, underlying information that is to be presented in the notes to the financial statements and how to present it. Notes contain information in addition to that presented in statement of financial position, statements of comprehensive income, income statement, combined statement of income, etc., etc. Notes provide narrative descriptions or disaggregated disaggregation of items presented in those statements that inform about items that do not qualify for recognition. Now you see, right? Now do you understand why the notes are so important? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. Okay. Now let's go back to where we were. Which page were we on? 70. What section were we going to do today? Investment property, right? Investment property. Okay. So okay. Now I'm going to ask you again. Okay. Leave this aside. I want you to tell me again what is the definition criteria of an asset. What is the recognition criteria of an asset? Without looking, just tell me straight away in your own words. I will point and ask. Okay. Prabhat Kumar Dash. Can you tell me what? Come on your camera, please, and tell me what is the definition criteria and recognition criteria.
Economic benefit, resources.
Please come on camera. I need you to come on camera.
Sir, I can't come in camera. If I'll come, means my voice will not be audible.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. Go ahead.
The first one is economic benefit. The second one
Future.
is,
You can't just say economic benefit. It has to be future economic benefit.
yes, sir, future economic benefit.
Okay.
The second one is resources,
What do you mean?
controlled by one entity. Then third one
Resource controlled by the entity. Yes. What's the third one?
is past performance.
No. Not past performance. Some other past. What is it?
Past
Okay.
events.
Events.
Let me simplify this a little bit more. Okay.
Yes.
How many of you have bought a bicycle or something like that? Can you raise your hand using the system and show me? Raise your hand, please, and show me. Okay. Kavya, you bought a bicycle. Durga, right. So what? And who else? Who's the third person? Your name is not appearing. Who's this person here? Reha. So you have also bought something, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me let's start with Reha. Reha, how did you go on about buying a bicycle?
What, sir?
How did you buy a bicycle? Tell me. What was the step?
I went to the shop and I actually ride it once. Then I choose which is suitable for me.
So what is the process? How did you get it done? So what are the steps that you took to complete the transaction?
We gave the cash.
Okay, so you gave something to them, yes, and
Yeah.
you acquired an asset. So can
Yeah.
you explain that transaction through accounting equation? What happened and what happened to
What?
what happened to each of them? You know the accounting equation, right? Assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity, right?
Uh,
I talked about the accounting equation on the first day. Durga, can you explain to me the process? So how does it affect the assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity? Durga, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Durga, can you explain to me what's the step? So when you went to the shop to buy a bicycle, I also bought a bicycle when I was there. So Habib took me to what was the bicycle place you went to, Habib? I can only see your forehead, Habib. Can you bring the camera down a bit so I can see your face a bit? That's better. Yeah. Where did we go to buy the bicycle? That big bicycle shop, right? Do you remember? Okay, so that's all right. But you remember the shop. So I think some of you may have bought it from the same shop, right? Possibly. Okay. So what are the steps involved with obtaining a bicycle? It's similar to buying a property. It is technically a property. But how do you buy that particular item?
Is Janata
Habib.
Cycle Store?
Yes.
Janata Cycle Store.
I think it was, yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one, yes. Janata, yes, that's the one.
Yes, in Nehru Street.
Yes, that is the place, yes. So I went and bought a bicycle. I rode it once. I got too tired and I left it. So I got Habib to pick me up every day from the guest house. Anyway, that's all right. So my point is, the steps were, I went to the shop, I paid some resource, so I gave some money, so I converted one asset to another. Okay, so how that happened was, then what happened with the bike? So does the bike provide me with future economic benefit? What is the future economic benefit that the bike gives me? Transportation. The economic benefit is transportation, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sometimes the resale value of the bicycle.
So let's talk about the resale value and things like that separately. Okay. We are talking about how can it be defined as an asset. So I'm looking at the three definition criteria. Future economic benefit. Does the bicycle bring me future economic benefit? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is the future economic benefit that it brings me?
Transportation.
Transportation, because transportation costs money, right? So I can pay a bus fare, I can pay a trishaw fare, or I can ride my own bicycle for free, right? So it brings me future economic benefit. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is the past transaction that led to obtaining the asset? Me giving the money to Janata Bicycle Store, right? So that is the past transaction. Is it an asset if I don't control the bike? If somebody else is using the bike, I paid for it. Is it an asset?
No, sir.
No, that means I have to control it. Meaning I should have the freedom to use it or give it to someone else to use it. So control of the entity is legally under my name. So control that brings in future economic benefit that resulted from a past transaction. Now it meets the definition criteria of an asset. But then recognition criteria, meaning do we put it on the balance sheet, is a different matter altogether. Okay. So keep that in mind. Can you think of a situation where you have an asset, but it cannot be recognized as an asset? Can you think of something?
Food, sir.
Sorry?
Food.
Sorry?
Food items, sir.
Food items.
Yeah, it does not have.
How can that be not recognized as an asset?
Like short-term future benefits, sir.
No, that's not right. That's not it. Who says yes and who says no?
I say no.
I
sir.
say no. I say no. Somebody else says yes. Why is it no?
So because the future benefit cannot be measured, like it is uncertain.
Yes. Now, I'm also not sure about the reliability of it happening given the way you're going. If you don't study hard enough, you will not be the person who just mentioned that about the measurement. Your names are not appearing here, so that's why I can't see you. I can see your face, but this girl who just mentioned this about the reliability of measurement.
Kavya, sir.
Kavya. Okay, Kavya. So what do you mean?
So we cannot hear you, sir.
Sorry, I was kicked out for some reason or another. So what was I talking about? I was asking Kavya to tell me what does she mean by not not meeting the criteria of how is that possible? What do you mean by future? Can you give me an example?
So from your example, you told like MBA is not a perfect asset because the person who
Share market, sir.
No. I don't want to talk about share market. So go on, Kavya.
like if a person is studying a course like MBA, they are not very certain about the jobs what they get, and like not everybody is getting successful in MBA. So we cannot be measuring the future economic benefit of the course. So it
My schoolmates, I had 24 students in my high school class. We all started at the same place, but all of us are doing different things. 20 of my friends, or 19, sorry, not 20, 19 of my friends are doctors today, and they are practicing medicine. One is a radiologist, one is a cancer doctor, whatever you call it. So all these people are doing extremely well. Each of us has different future economic benefits. Even from my degree time, those who did the degree together, my undergraduate degree, we are all doing different types of jobs. Some are not even in the industry. So all different people have different future economic benefits. Therefore, we cannot put our degree on our own balance sheet as an asset. We can recognize it, we can define it as an asset. It's definitely an asset in terms of definition criteria. There is future economic benefit. There is, okay, because obviously you will get a job. There will be something coming in from the future because of your MBA, right? Kavya, yes or no? Will you get some salary in the future?
yes, sir.
Yes. So that means there is a future economic benefit. What is the past transaction?
I have paid the fees for the course, sir.
The fees. Very good. Fees. What is, and do you control it?
Yes, sir. My success rate depends upon how I attend the class. So it is under
Correct.
my
So
control.
you control your destiny. Now you control that journey. Very good. But if we go to the recognition criteria, future economic benefit is there, but we can't measure it. Probability of occurrence is there. So it meets one of the two recognition criteria. It is very probable that you will somehow finish the MBA. Yes or no? Though I might fail you in this class. I'm joking. Okay. That's a joke. Don't be so serious. Okay. You will have to, you will pass the MBA at some stage or another. Yes, that's fine. But can you measure? You cannot. So then it doesn't fall under the, very difficult if you don't interact. Make the most of it. Talk, understand. Okay. Let's quickly go through this. Definition and initial recognition of
Now
investment
you
property.
need to share the content.
Yes, sorry. Right, here we go. Is that clear?
Yes, Prof. Yes, Prof.
Okay, sorry, the camera is in. Okay, all right. Investment property, land or buildings or part of buildings or both held by the owner or by the lessee under a finance lease to earn rental or capital appreciation or both instead of for use in production or supply of goods and services or for administrative purposes or sale of ordinary course of business is what we call an investment property. Now, the example that I wanted to give you was the one that in my company. I told you, right, I bought a factory outside of Melbourne paying lower levels of the rent. I think I told you the story. I remember telling you.
Yes,
or no?
Prof. Last class you told this.
Yeah. So I said that. So in that sense, that particular part of that asset becomes what? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, I think I'm stuck. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm stuck, but that's okay. I'll still continue, okay? Can you see my screen as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So what I want to talk about is so then it becomes an investment property only if it is not used as a production facility. Okay, investment property is purely for income generation, not if it's a capital investment in the normal lines of production. It is not considered as an investment property. Okay, mixed use of the property shall be separated between investment property and property, plant and equipment. So that is where my company's discussion comes in. So what happened was, in my old company, I bought this massive warehouse. I partitioned it into two. The office part of it, I used the part of it, one fourth of it I used, and 2/3 of it, sorry, 3/4 of it I outsourced.
Padre Rahman, can you mute your microphone? Sorry, Prof. One student is.
Yes.
Padre Rahman.
I can mute it here. Okay. Right. So what happened is that in such situations, the investment property component of it is 3/4 of the total asset. 1/4 of the total asset is classified as property, plant and equipment, whereas 3/4 are considered as something else. Okay, so that's what we call mixed use of property. Okay, that is under section 16 of IFRS 570. Okay, the definition and initial recognition criteria, we've gone through that. The measurement at initial recognition, the entity shall measure investment property at its cost at initial recognition. The cost of purchased investment property comprises its purchase price and any directly attributed expenditure such as legal cost, brokerage fee, transfer tax, and other transaction costs. So here we have a few called stamp duty fees, which we have to pay when we purchase any property. Okay, so all those things are added into the investment property's total cost. Okay, we talked about the measurement and recognition. So it's like a scale. So if we borrow from a bank to buy an asset, then the equity part of it is the current value of the asset minus what we owe to the bank. That leaves us with the profit, or the what you call the value or the equity part of that particular investment property. Okay, until that is not realized. Now, did I speak to you about a friend of mine who is considered very rich but doesn't have enough money to buy lunch?
Yes, yes.
I told you about that, right? So that is another example of a classic case of asset rich, cash flow poor. Okay, so keep that in mind. So an asset can be initially recognized as value, in other words, what you pay for it, and then in certain situations you do a revaluation. For example, my property was revalued recently, and during the time of the pandemic, it was actually valued lower than what it was worth the year before. It was higher than what I paid for it, obviously, but I was refinancing, and it was measured lower than what it was originally valued for about a year before with another listing. Because that's how it is. Prices go up and down and up and down, but as long as the net value keeps on going up, then I'm happy, right? So in here, they are talking about this present value. What is the value of it currently in the market? So that's what we need to talk about. The initial cost of the property interest held under a lease and classified as an investment property shall be prescribed for the finance lease by paragraph 20.9. So that's an entirely different area. We'll cover the leases later on. Okay. I talked about the measurement criteria and the recognition criteria. It has to be the recognition criteria to be recognized as an asset. An asset can be transferred if it is reliably measured on fair value. It is then transferable to others if need be. There's a carrying amount which can be then transferred to another entity as needed. Okay. Obviously, disclosures need to be made in terms of the any fair value changes, sales, profits, losses, and all those things. Disclosures need to be made. Okay. Reconciliations between carrying amount of investment property at the beginning and the end of the period are shown separately. Additional disclosures separately, those additional results from acquisitions through business combinations, net gain, depreciations, impairments, etc. All those things need to be recognized and identified in terms of that particular asset. Okay. Right. I'm not going to go into property, plant, and equipment because that's an entire section altogether. Now, what is the difference between investment property? I will cover this one last thing. What is the difference between investment property and property, plant, and equipment? What's the key difference?
Investment property